Is the NACA Member Portal webinar worth attending? My experience and live Q&A review. Section 1. Intro. Why this video matters. Welcome back, everyone, to Will_NACA Journey CA. I recently attended the NACA Member Portal webinar, and honestly, I found it much more useful than I expected. Going into the webinar, I thought it would be mainly a basic walkthrough of the member portal. Instead, what I found was a live, interactive session where members could ask questions, receive answers in real time, and learn from the experiences of other people going through the NACA process. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that I am not affiliated with, employed by, or representing NACA in any way. I am simply documenting my personal journey through the NACA program here in California and sharing my experiences as I move through the process. Also, if this sounds like I'm reading from a script, that's intentional. I want the information I share to be as accurate and clear and organized as possible. My goal is to provide useful information without accidentally leaving out important details. In today's video, I want to share my experience attending the Member Portal webinar, explain why I think it's worth attending, talk about the value of the live Q&A, and show you where you can find the webinar schedule. Section 2, Live Q&A, a real question I had. One of the biggest benefits of this webinar is the live Q&A. It isn't a pre-recorded presentation where you simply watch and listen. You can actually ask questions and receive answers during the webinar. As someone currently working through the NACA process myself, I found this especially valuable because I was able to ask a question that had been on my mind for a while. Like many members, I have multiple financial accounts connected inside the NACA portal. My concern was security. Since so much financial information is connected and accessible in one place, I wanted to know how long those financial institutions needed to remain linked to the portal. So I asked a simple question. When can I disconnect my financial institutions from the NACA portal? Presenter stopped and answered the question directly. The answer I received was that after closing, members can disconnect their financial institutions from the portal. That answer immediately addressed my concerns and gave me clarity on something I had been wondering about. And honestly, that's exactly why I think the live Q&A is so valuable. Sometimes one simple question can save you a lot of uncertainty. Section 3, Real Answers, Learning from Other Members. Another thing I found valuable was listening to questions from other members. Everyone attending the webinar is at a different stage of the process. Some members are just getting started. Others are gathering documents, linking of financial accounts, uploading information into the portal, or preparing for counseling. Some are much further along in the process. What surprised me was the variety of questions people asked. Some questions were very straightforward. Others involved situations I've never had to think about myself. For example, there were questions involving taxes, financial documents, portal requirements, account linking, and other unique situations members were dealing with. One member even asked what they should do if they had not filed taxes for many years. Another member had questions about financial accounts and documentation requirements. There were questions coming from all different directions, and that's what made the webinar so valuable. Sometimes the most useful information isn't even the question you ask. It's hearing someone else's question and realizing that the answer may help you later in your own journey. By listening to other members, you gain insight into situations that you may not have encountered yet. That's one of the biggest advantages of attending live. You don't just learn from the presenter, you learn from the experiences, concerns, and questions of other people moving through the NACA process. Section 4, my personal recommendation. Why I think it's worth attending. For me personally, I think every NACA member should attend this webinar at least once. In fact, if you're getting ready to enter information into the portal, upload documents, connect financial institutions, or begin working through program requirements, I would recommend attending. Bring a notebook, take notes, write down questions, and don't be afraid to ask them. The reason I recommend attending is simple. You get answers in real time. Several of the topics discussed during the webinar were things I had either wondered about myself or could easily see becoming future questions as I moved through the process. In the past, some questions may have required reaching out to a counselor and waiting for a response. My counselor has been helpful whenever I needed assistance and has always directed me to the right resource. But during this webinar, members were able to receive clarification immediately. Instead of guessing, wondering, or trying to figure something out on their own, you can ask a question and receive an answer while you're there. For me, that's what makes this webinar worth attending. It's practical, it's informative, and it can potentially save you time as you move through the process. Section 5, webinar times and dates. When you can attend. If you're interested in attending, the Member Portal Overview webinar is currently offered every Monday and Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Saturday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find the current schedule on the NACA website under the Live Webinars section. I would strongly encourage anyone currently working through the NACA process to attend at least one session. Section 6. In closing, overall, I found the Member Portal webinar to be extremely helpful. The ability to ask live questions, receive immediate answers, and learn from other members makes it a valuable resource for anyone going through the NACA program. What started out as what I thought would be a simple portal walkthrough turned into an opportunity to gain clarity, hear real-world questions, and better understand different parts of the process. As I continue moving through my own NACA journey, I'll continue documenting my experiences, sharing what I learned, and providing updates along the way. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and following the journey. Real process, real steps, real home ownership. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Disclaimer. This video is based solely on my personal experience and understanding of the NACA program at the time of recording. I am not a NACA employee, counselor, mortgage professional, attorney, tax advisor, or financial advisor. Program guidelines, requirements, and procedures can change over time. Always verify information directly with NACA and consult the appropriate professionals regarding your specific situation.